We're here in Newcastle. I can see that there's 5 people on already. Hi. Let me know who's here. Let me know who's joining me this morning. We are at Honeysuckle. So this is the name of the district, the precinct that we are streaming from today. And for anyone who's joining who hasn't met me before, my name's Lynn and I'm a Newcastle local now, you might say. All right, so hi Anne, and thank you for your support. Always welcome, thank you. I never get the opportunity to actually thank you. So yeah, g'day Abe, and welcome. It is just coming up to 7 a.m. It's a very cold morning this morning. And we are here, as I said, we're in a location or a district called Honeysuckle, which probably half a century ago, say 50 years ago, this was a very industrial area, and it's all been renovated and refurbished and rejuvenated, and now it's a desirable residential area. Hi Sarah, g'day, and welcome. All right, so let's turn the camera around. I'm still getting used to things because I'm streaming from YouTube Direct instead of through one of the apps for Where Am I Wednesday. Everything's just a little bit different, but at least I get to see the full screen, whereas on StreamYard I was reduced to about a quarter of the size of my mobile phone screen. All right, so before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we meet today on the traditional lands of the Awabakal and pay my respects. I'm just trying to get that sun out of the way. Pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. And all right, so hi Annette, welcome. I was being distracted on 2 fronts there, so if my acknowledgement of country didn't sound as polished as it normally does, that's the reason. Okay, so let's turn this around and we're going to take a walk. We have done this walk before, but it's been a couple of months. There are a few new things. Richard hasn't been here before. It's all new to him. And I'm just noticing that this is a brand new sculpture that's just gone up. That wasn't here the last time I brought you here. This is a creek that would have been, I would imagine back in the day when Newcastle was an industrial town, this would have been pretty much a dead creek. Abe says, I always appreciate that acknowledgement. Oh, you're very welcome, Abe. It's something that it costs so little to do, and I think it's important in this day and age, especially when there's so much turmoil. I think it's important. So we're right next to the tram line. Anyone who was with me the other day when we were doing the Samoan Independence Day and the Surfboard Expo, we were at the station, which was the end of the line for the old train line. Well, these trams have now replaced the train for running through the centre of the city. And we've got this new sculpture here. There's no label on it yet. There's a spot where there's a label is going to be installed. And it says, hi Richard.
Hello.
But this is kind of cute. Look at that. Fishies. And you can see all the cranes in the background. There's still a lot of residential construction going on around this area. We're right next to the river, and we're going to go for a walk along the river now. So I'm assuming that there's going to be some sort of a plaque going up here. Pretty cute, aren't they, Abe? I like them. I do too. Here we go. All right, so let's walk. There's also a new picnic table here, and that's rather cute as well. Look at the way that it's been etched to show the Banksia flowers in the design. I like that as well. We're next to a small boutique hotel. We're going to cross the road here and walk along the riverfront. And as you all know, the Hunter River is the main river that runs through Newcastle and is actually the largest coal port. I think it's in the southern hemisphere. Largest coal port somewhere. Here is another one of these bits of infrastructure that's been etched with the Banksia flower design. So yeah, this is a little boutique hotel here, and they've got a little e-bike parking station out the front. These are all things that I'm just discovering. So little curiosities. Look at that, electric bike hire. We should try and find out how much that costs.
It's called Cottage Creek.
Cottage Creek. Okay, Cottage Creek. Last time we were here, we arrived just before sunrise, and these railings either side of the road were all lit up. Now they're just lit up with the sun. Is this in Newcastle? Yes, Annette, this is a district of Newcastle called Honeysuckle. And just trying to get into a good spot where we can see this bridge over here. With the way the sun's lighting it up, it's really gorgeous. Huh? Where are you sending me? So this area was full of actual honeysuckle vines, and the sun's making it a bit tricky. What am I looking at? He's pointing at something. He wants me to do this. Okay. So the area was covered with honeysuckle vine, and that's why the district is called Honeysuckle. We're actually only a couple of kilometres from the centre of town. What I want to do here is, oh gosh, you just can't see it because of the sun. Can you see? No, you can't really see the bridge at all, can you? All right, we'll go over here. We'll start our walk from here anyway. So this was all industrial around here. Now it's all residential. Richard, LOL, ever the, yeah. And that's pointing out that you're being the director, Richard. All right, this is what I was trying to get for you, is the bridge over here. I'm going to zoom in on it and try and get the sun out of the picture. There we go. That's better. Lynn, no, it's not. Lynn asks if honeysuckle is native to Australia. No, it was just one of those feral plants that sort of took over this area. Back when there was, abandoned buildings and industrial buildings, and the town itself at that time was not a very pretty place at all. But it was just a characteristic. So what we've got here is the representation of the Indigenous couple, the man with a fishing spear and the woman in the canoe. I'm not sure, I'm just trying to interpret what she's actually doing. Let's see if we can get a better idea as we get closer. Actually, I think it might be just another person managing the nets, perhaps. It's a little bit tricky to see. There we go. It's a rather nice bridge though, isn't it? You do know that when you're standing behind me, I can't see what you're pointing at, or even if you are pointing. The force. He's standing behind me and pointing at stuff, and all I'm seeing is like movement out of the corner of my eye. Look. All right. And at the either end of the bridge we have these spears. A couple of pooches. So over here on my left we have a marina. There's also the Newcastle Yacht Club and a fish market. The fish co-op is over there as well. We popped in there and had a look the other day and bought some fish. We hadn't been there before. Here we go, we've got a couple of, what are they doing? They're sculling, is that what they're doing? Sculling along the river. And if you hear it sort of making odd noises, it's very cold this morning, so I'm a bit breathless. Not cold by Canadian standards, I do acknowledge. Let's go to the fish market, says Annette. Yeah, definitely. We bought sardines. We had sardines, and I used a recipe out of my Kylie Kwong cookbook and made Chinese style sardines. This is one of those amazing Gaimea lilies, just about to open. Incredible flower. Canadians believe in hats. Like that. I wasn't going to put it on, but I decided when I got out of the car, yeah, all right, I'll put a hat on this morning. It's the fingers that are chilly today. I was never one of the lucky ones that ended up with a Hago hat. Richard in Palm Beach managed to get one. I don't know how he did, but I never managed to get a Hago hat. So I missed out. And there's another one of these Gaimea lilies alongside the spears. It's got some interesting... I'm guessing that these represent songlines. You'll make me an LE one. We should start thinking about branding, shouldn't we? As if we're ever going to get that big, Annette. And as we're not a financial venture either. It's all done on love and the smell of an oily rag. What's Annette saying? We should send an LE hat to all calendar guides. Yeah. One day we can dream. I've got to keep stopping and looking at your... I'm a big deal. Well, yes, there's that. All right, so this is Honeysuckle Walk. I don't know where my other half has disappeared to, but he's back there somewhere. It's really, really lovely to take a walk along here early morning. And we're going to start seeing more people as we walk along. There'll be dog walkers, there'll be cyclists, there'll be people running. Given that it's a work morning, probably not as many as you might see on a weekend. Here, I'm just going to look for sort of pretty angles for you as well. These benches, again with the etching of the Banksia flower. And across the water, on the other side of the river from here, we still have industry. I think that's cement. I think that's a cement production facility over there. I can see that a couple of the tugboats are moored over there. It does, doesn't it, Abe? The sun casts such a nice warm glow on everything. So there's two of the tugboats that we often see when we're doing anything along the Hunter River. We'll often see them accompanying a large ship in or out of the river. Keep an eye out for wildlife as well. This time of year, apparently it is not uncommon to see a seal occasionally. I've never seen one, so there's always a first time. And we do get dolphins in here occasionally as well. Again, not something we've seen often, but we have seen them occasionally. And we can see here all the new apartments. This is rather a prestige location to live now. I do love my seals. You do love your seals. Do you remember that time we saw one in Sydney Harbour? Abe. I can always rely on you for a good pun. And if I'm pausing, it's just so I can read the screen. Yeah, Anne says, good one, Abe. So a little bit further along here, there's kind of an interesting playground for kids that's done in the style of a more or less a sculpture park. It's really cool. So we're going to aim for that. And see what else there is to see along here as well. I think there's a spot where cruises, like day cruises, river cruises, take off from. And let's look back over here. Back towards the bridge. And I'm just keeping an eye. I saw a rock there. I thought it was something living, but it's just a rock. There's those tugboats. I can hear that plant, whatever it is, obviously doing what it does, producing something. Oh, here we go. We've got a seagull on the rail, but it's right in the sun. You're going to stay there and let me... We'll go around this way. We'll see him from this side. There he is. Now, Louise in New Zealand has her seagull she nicknames Gully. Do you reckon we should name this guy? Yep, you're the star of the show right now, mate. And we can hear crows in the background. Just let this person pass. I just saw something interesting I want to show you. Now, I don't know what this is, but gosh, it might be a lily pilly, but I'm not absolutely certain. Look at the fruit on it. How about you try one, Richard? What are you thinking? What do you think, guys? Should we get him to taste one? I didn't even know if these are edible, but they sure look interesting.
Trying the mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone knows the mushroom story. Right now here in Australia, there's a court case going on where a woman served she served 4 of her in-laws a lunch, a beef Wellington that contained mushrooms. 3 of them died. And they're trying to determine if she did it deliberately or not. Abe says, well, if we... Oh, hold on. That just disappeared on me. If we aren't sure, maybe Richard should not try one. Yeah, I was actually... yeah, are you the same seagull? Are you following us? It's almost like he is, isn't it? We've got these ladies out here doing some more sculling. You mentioned that before. Yeah, it's still ongoing, Annette. Might make a good true crime stream. That's Sully, says Annette. Look at these picnic table areas. They're really cool, aren't they? Look at the way they're laid out. They've got a barbecue in each one of these protective shelters, and another one of these picnic table sets. Are they free to use those barbecues?
Yeah.
They are. That's cool. And Lynn says, I agree with Abe. We would miss Richard. Oh, they'd miss you. Now, I don't know if these lights here are functional or if they're an installation. I'm leaning towards installation. As in, I don't think they were, grouped like that, I don't think that's how you would normally have them for a functional port type thing. I think that's more of a decorative installation. Sorry?
Maybe.
Oh, they're probably lit up at night, but I don't think they're there for the purpose of, port operations. I think people know what I'm talking about. And the new way of going about shoring up the sides of the waterways now is not to go for a dead straight canal type concrete wall, but more to break it up with rocks and these large stones. And it allows, first of all, it looks better, but also down at the water's edge, it allows creatures to form habitat. So you can have, well, you've got barnacles, of course, but you've also got things like shells that attach to the walls, and then they attract things like little crabs and small fish. So it becomes a habitat for sea life. I hope no one's talking to me at the moment. I can't see a thing on the screen. It's a beautiful morning. It's just that it's cold by our standards. Oh, we've got a pelican up here. Okay, stay put, mate. I want to see you. I want to get closer and see you without the sun in the way. There he is. I guess that's the only downside about living here. You've got the constant noise from that industrial plant across the water, but maybe you wouldn't notice after you've lived here for a while. Not sure. But it kind of adds interest to the skyline, I guess. Over here we've got children's playground in the shape of a ship. And then another sheltered area with, once again, the Banksia flowers featured in the panel here. That might be more interesting from around the other side. Oh, there's a magpie. Feel free to warble for us, Mr. Magpie. There we go, look at that. Very cool. Etchings, everything's very decorative. And the children's playground is all based on a nautical theme. All right. So if we keep walking up this way, and he did. And he warbled. Where is he? I'm not sure where he's gone, but he did a little warble for us. Look at these apartments over here. I'd love to know how much an apartment along here would cost. I know it's out of my price range, but just out of curiosity. All right, so here's this. I don't know what to call it. It's obviously an installation of some sort. And as we get closer and get the sun out of the way, we'll get a better idea of what it looks like. I know you can't see much right now, but in a second, all will be revealed. We don't just have the sun, we've got the sun reflection on the building as well, making it difficult from two angles. Okay, so I'm getting a feel of a ship kind of shape. I'm getting the feel of water, waves. I know that there's some Aboriginal words etched onto it. And I have no idea what it all means. So, but my sense is that it is acknowledging history, connection to the Aboriginal community, and also things like names that were significant to this area in former days. Butcher boats, I have no idea what that means. And Gamay, I don't know what that means either. But there's Aboriginal words sort of dotted about all throughout. This installation is the best word that I can think of for it. And you are encouraged to climb around and through. There's like a wavy path through here. So here, more of these Aboriginal names that I don't know what they mean. They may be names, in fact. You know, Gupir, Wata, Guyang. And then we have things like tools. So steelworking tools, ironmongery, blacksmithing, all of those occupations are given tribute. Really interesting. What does that say? Shillings a tonne. 8 shillings a tonne. Yeah, Sarah, that's my sense as well, that it is. It's reflecting the history of the area. 1816, 300 souls. I wonder if there was a ship that went down in 1816. More of the history that I need to learn more about. Okay, earthquake, ballast. Bishop's Settlement, 43 lots. All sorts of random connections to the area. Something about oysters. It says something with oysters, and it's covered by the plant, so I don't know what that says. Alrighty. So over here we have, this is, I think it's a restaurant, or it might be a pub, or it might be both. We don't sort of venture out at night very much, and we don't sort of venture out for dinner very much, so a lot of these venues I'm not really familiar with. But this looks like, definitely looks like it's got dining tables there. And lots of kegs. Oh, here we go, Honeysuckle Hotel. Actually, I think we should make a point of coming here. It looks actually really nice, doesn't it? Definitely a great spot. And there's a restaurant over here. And then I think just beyond the hotel is where the day cruises depart from. Something that I did promise I was going to look into, and I haven't had a chance to do so. Yeah, so these are the river cruises, the day cruises. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is head back, but along the road, and we're on the lookout for a mural, which was the banner picture that I used for this event. And once again, I don't know where Richard's disappeared to. How's the sound going, everyone? The wind's picked up a little bit. I'm just not sure how it's affecting the sound. Right, so I'm going to head back along here, and then we'll strike out for the road and go in search of that mural. Oh, he's gone over there. All right. He wants me to go around there. Cooey. Did you hear that? What I'm also noticing as well is that my picture's moving around a little, so I obviously need to find a setting on this gimbal that holds the picture steady. Sounds good. Thank you, Sarah. Oh, didn't know where you'd gone. I was about to strike for the road. Yeah, day cruises. We should do one. Oh, all the stuff washed up from the floods underneath the piers here, yeah. So there's a tall masted one. Yeah. Yeah, we should come here for lunch one day. Hi Ronnie Lynn, how you going? Bring a net here, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said bring a net. Richard's saying bring a net, as in a net, and I thought he said bring a net. Did you want us to do our own fishing, catch our own lunch?
I think explosives are probably easy.
Oof, that's a chilly wind. There's a couple of pelicans flying above the river over there, but they're probably too far away to see. They're just to the right of those two tall buildings.
Have you ever seen a young pelican?
I was about to say, I do not think you need a net to catch a net. You're on it, Abe. You're on it. Did you have a look through there?
Yes.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I don't know what it is.
Well, we were trying to work that through while we were walking through it. It's kind of got the lines of a ship, but then it's reflecting all these names and places and events and tools. So it's just a compilation of history is what we've come to the conclusion of. Okay, I was just avoiding the stairs there. Am I still zoomed in? Yeah, I am a bit. Sorry, guys. So our idea was to walk along the road. I think we'll go back along the river a little way and then come out near where the mural is, because it is a bit noisy on that road. There's a big ship being loaded, I guess.
Cold.
I don't think it's coal here. I'm thinking it's concrete, cement. Yeah, that's what I think it is. And there's another big ship over there. Coal's over the other side. You know where the big coal loader is on the way to Stockton.
Yeah.
All right, so I've uploaded a video, a replay of one of my Wentworth Falls Lake tours, and scheduled that for Friday, my time, so that'll be Thursday your time. Mainly it was to find a gap. Andrea and Evia seem to have a lot of spots on the calendar, and I tried to schedule around them because I know that everyone's going to want to go and see their events, which are way more exciting than mine. So, I tend to find a spot where I'm not competing with them on the calendar when I can. So I was going to do it tomorrow, same time, but I opted to make it the following day instead. Is that Wentworth Falls Lake or is that Mount York? Anyway, it's one of the locations in the Blue Mountains. I've just finished one and I'm in the process of doing the other one. It might actually be Mount York. So I'm working on the other one at the moment, and that'll go up a day or two later once I've finished editing that. And mainly all I'm doing, I'm not doing a lot to them, I'm mainly just checking for spots where the signal may have been questionable, and if it makes sense to remove it, I will. I do remove a lot of my arms because I know I do a lot of them, so I try and remove those, and if I've been coughing or sniffling or anything like that, I try to remove those as well, just to make it a more comfortable watch and listen when we do them as a YouTube premiere. What I did add, which is making shadows again, what I did add to the end of the Mount York one was a series of images from a bushfire that had passed through the same area. You're very distracting. Passed through the same area 10 years previously. So I had been up there with my son to look. He wanted to take photos, and I've got a series of photos that I added to the end of that. The Flying Nun. Funnily enough, that's one of the costumes that I didn't share with you that my mother made for a school, what do you call them? Dress up parade thing, costume parade. She dressed me as the Flying Nun. So I've been there, done that. And here's these poles again, these lights. They look quite good with the sun shining on them, don't they? And I only have one last Facebook Live video to download. So, and that was a light event at Taronga Zoo in Sydney, one of those illumination events or light events. So once I've done that, and I had to have it all done by the end of June, I'm done. I'm very happy about that. So I've managed to retrieve all the material that I wanted to before it was removed from Facebook. So as soon as I get that done, and of course, as you all know, I can't edit Facebook videos. It just does not play nicely with my video editor, which is a shame. So it comes raw. I'll catch up on her tour later, Ronnie. What did I miss? If you ever all of a sudden break into song, never remove that, Lynn. What are you doing? That's not likely. That's not likely to happen. I think I might have done it once, break into song. It's not something you want to hear. Richard can attest to that. How far are we? Should we go up here or go one more block? One more. Yep. So our aim is to find this mural, and we'll finish up there. And then we're going to go and have a coffee before the parking restrictions start. I missed a comment. Hold on. Facebook gave a lot more time to recover content than versus Hager. You're absolutely right, Annette. And Ronnie's sympathising with me. Aren't you, Ronnie? She didn't even break into song while listening to Queen. No, I know. I'm what's the word? Self-aware enough to know that no one wants to hear my voice. I did do something. What did I do? I did something. There's a fluffy puppy.
Morning.
Good morning. Oh. All right, we might duck up here. What do you think? I think we're close enough. So what we're going to see here is just Honeysuckle Drive. People, typical, there's a garbage truck there. We find them every single time, don't we, Richard? Every single time we find that garbage truck. Doesn't matter where we go. These are interesting seats. How do you sit on that? I do not know how this works. Very big cushions, like huge. Interesting. Here's a white bottle brush. Have I ever showed you a white bottle brush before? That was weird. Are you referring to the seat? It really was. A rain hole. Long arms to eat. Yeah, maybe you don't sit on them. They're just strange. I don't know. This is a bit like the Pantheon in Rome, where they've got that hole in the middle of the roof. All right, how about this one? Oh, that's where the KFC is, isn't it? So underneath that crane, okay, directly beneath that crane, that's a KFC with a really weird, I think it's this one, really weird drive-through for ordering. Is that the one with the weird drive-through? and it's nudging you to go check it out, Richard. Aren't they? So yeah, this is what Honeysuckle Drive looks like now. I don't know, it's a little bit soulless, I think. What do you think? It's a bit concrete and glass, and at least the plantings. Yeah, the plantings help. Richard and I band over fast food, she says. Richard and I bond over fast food and TV. Richard says, is there anything else to life? I think that's what you meant to say. Yeah. Okay, so if we cross the road here, is this where that cafe was? Or is it down there? Right, we're going to try not to get knocked over. There's a stream of cars. We might have to cross. We might have to use the crossing and come back. Just a line of cars. You reckon now? Okay. All right. All good. This side. Ooh. And I've done about as much walking as my foot is going to tolerate today. It's an interesting treatment of the stone, the wall there. So we're basically in the grounds of Newcastle Water here, which is an office building. And this is where this lovely mural is. And the artist is Rosie Woods. And there we have it. There's the mural. All to do with water. There you go. So what have we seen today? We've seen the sunshine, we've seen sculpture. It is pretty, isn't it, Ronnie Lynn? We've seen birds, we've seen flowers, and finished with this lovely mural. Okay, I am going to turn the camera around. We'll have the mural in the background, maybe. If I can angle it right. No, that way. That way. There we go. Something like that. All right. Thanks, everyone. I'm nearly ready to take my hat off. It's nearly warmed up enough. Abe says, I like the colours. Thanks, Ronnie Lynn. Annette says, thanks, Lynn. Rest your foot and enjoy your coffee. Thanks, Annette. Definitely. All right. We're going to finish there. He's trying to dodge getting in now after all the shadow puppetry. All right, thanks everyone, and we'll see you again very soon. You're very welcome, Abe, and everyone else. And we're going to go in and find a coffee. I think we've got one either side of us. We're just a matter of choosing which one we grab. Okay, see you later, everybody. And it says thanks, Richard. Okay. There's our little car across the road there. Bye. Just finding the end button. Okay, bye guys.